Welcome to MySQL for Beginners course. First of all, let me thank you for taking up this course and also to welcome you. Let's get into the course introduction. This course is going to cover up the MySQL database. The course covers the SQL queries that you can use in MySQL database in order to create, insert, and also retrieve data from the MySQL database. This course also covers the best practices that you have to follow in order to create a better MySQL database. There will be clear explanation on each SQL query that will be seeing this course with examples as well. This course also shows you the way of handling data in your MySQL database to make sure the database is well groomed. The course also has multiple areas where you will be freshed up with the MySQL database queries and also what are all the things that you have to keep in your mind in order to make sure the MySQL database is good and in perfect shape. The next thing is what you should do in order to make this course more perfect. You have to make sure you practice, and practice all the way. When you stop practicing or using the MySQL queries, there are chances that you might forget them. It's not bad, but it is common and general. You stop doing something, there are chances that you might forget them. And don't stop with what I do in this course. If you see something that is a particular query that I write in this course, don't stop with that. Try to create new queries, different queries, or in different ways, and try to implement them. Play with the SQL queries. That's exactly what I want you to do. And do some mistakes. Unless you do some mistakes, you're not going to learn something new, and you're not going to learn what are all the errors that can be seen in MySQL database. Covering the errors in the MySQL database course is going to take an eternity. Only if you try and learn from your own mistakes, you will keep it in your brain, mind, or whatever you call it as. Use the discussion boards as much as you can. You can find the discussion boards in Udemy in the left side portion of your course page. You can use them in order to ask questions, share ideas, and also share some wonderful insights in this course. If you got some materials outside of the course, you can also share them. Well, the discussion board is the best place for you to discuss something new, not just from the course, but also outside of the course, of course, relevant to the MySQL database. Be open and socialize with the community that you can find in this course. I believe there will be a lot of students who will be taking up this course. So try to use the community, share the ideas, bring up new ideas. Brainstorming is the best way to create new applications in the best way possible. The next thing is what you should not do. Don't skip videos. Try not to skip any video in this course. There is a flow in these videos. I want to make sure that you understand and get to the next video with what you have learned from the previous video. That makes sure that the learning curve that you're following is perfect. Don't play with others' database. Well, if you come across someone else's database, don't play with that. Don't delete something, don't alter or modify something, or don't update them. Don't take chances with important data. If you have a database and a database table and there are some important data, try to take a backup copy of the database or else the database table that you're going to edit. Before doing that, don't ever touch them. There are chances that you might corrupt the database or even you might delete the important data that you want to keep. And finally, don't ever stop learning. This course has some end. At one point of time, this course gets to an end. But learning should not end. Don't ever stop learning. Keep on learning. There's something new coming up. So don't ever stop learning. Well, finally, request for you all. Leave a honest review after you complete this course. Even if the halfway of this course, you can leave a review if you find it apt. And also please share the feedbacks if you have any kind of suggestions or if you have any kind of issues with the course, please feel free to share it. And help others in the discussion boards. If you feel that you know the answer of someone's question in the discussion boards, then come forward and answer them before I do. It's always better to share what you've learned. You will keep remembering that and make sure you never forget that. And connect to me. You can always find my Facebook, Twitter, or Google Plus links in the instructor page, so you can use them in order to connect to me. You can leave a friend request, a message, or even follow me. And don't hesitate to ask doubts. If you have any doubts, any issues, anything that you want to ask, please come forward to ask that. Ask doubts, and what you do by asking doubts is that if someone else have the same doubt as you do, you already cleared that person's doubt because they can use the discussion board, which will be having the answer that either me or someone else have already answered for your question that you've asked in the discussion boards. Well, that's all for the code's introduction. Let's dive deeper into the codes by going into what is MySQL in the next lecture. Thank you.